Honorable Finance Minister, Shri Arun Jaitley, Director of IGIDR, Dr. Mahendra Dev, the Dean, Professor Maitli, the Registrar, Shri Jaymohan Pandit, faculty, parents, and dear students. Let me start by congratulating all the successful students. On the issue of gender imbalance, I don't know whether I should say lucky young men or commiserate with them. But look around you today, dear students, and see the reason why you are successful here. Because of the untiring emotional and financial support of your parents and family, and because of the intellectual support of your teachers, and I think you owe them all a vote of thanks. You've had one of the finest educations India can offer, as the Finance Minister said. And it's not too early to turn your minds to thinking about what India needs that you can offer. You are, of course, graduating from the Indira Gandhi Institute for Development Research. And so a natural place to go is to ask, what does India need for development and growth? Now, some people say infrastructure. Some people say we need more skilled people. Some people say we need a better financial system. And certainly India needs all these. But in a study of economic growth by the current Chief Economic Advisor, Dr. Arvind Subramanian, along with Professor Danny Roderick of Princeton University, they argue it's not resources, it's not people, but it's good, solid institutions that are the key to sustained economic growth. And furthermore, in other work, Dr. Subramaniam has argued that one of the reasons India has slowed is it's sort of outpaced the quality of its institutions. And therefore, India needs to continue creating strong institutions that can manage the economic growth that it is creating. We need independent institutions with public credibility and confidence that these institutions will deliver on their mandate. So it's against this backdrop that I think the focus that the Finance Minister placed on the emphasis on institution building, on good governance, including recent developments like the Niti Aayog, as well as the emerging consensus from the Gyan Sangam held recently of new institutions to govern banks. The statement by the government the other day that banks would be free from interference, I think is a landmark statement which essentially seeks to protect strong commercial decision-making by the banks from political interference. The Finance Minister also mentioned the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which I think is certainly an attempt by the Prime Minister to inculcate not just the notion of cleanliness, which we certainly need everywhere in the country, but he mentioned the breakdown of caste, but there's so many other benefits, including the notion of public spirit. That what matters is not just the cleanliness inside your home, but the cleanliness outside. It's not just physical cleanliness, it's mental cleanliness, it's intellectual cleanliness, spiritual cleanliness. So the notion that if 120 crore Indians come together with a focus on public spirit and public work, there is no force on earth which can stop us from doing what we need to do. So in that spirit, I want you to think about building institutions. Institutions often have strong institutional builders. Think of Dr. Verghese Kurian, who built the milk cooperative movement, Mr. T.N. Seshan, who made the Election Commission what it is, Mr. Vinod Rai, who has strengthened the voice of the Controller and Auditor General. You may disagree with the details of the methods and the processes that any one of these gentlemen followed, but you cannot dispute the fact that they left us with stronger institutions that help strengthen the pillars of our democracy as well as our economy. Now, institution building and preservation is hard. You do need knowledge. I am sure IGIDR has equipped you with that. There's a saying, "100 में से एक." In fact, you are one of those because over 3,000 students apply for the positions you have and you select 25 out of them. So you're certainly one of those jewels, and clearly the knowledge you've gained in this institute will help you. But it's more than knowledge. You have to have integrity, which means you have to be immune to the lure of power as well as the lure of money. Lure of money is clear. The dangers of a fondness for money are obvious, and the ethics and morals that your family have inculcated in you and the teachers have digged further into you will stand you in good stead there. But less obvious and equally corrupting is the day you become attached to your office or to advancement, to the honors or awards that people in power hand out, you once again lose your integrity. So that's something that you have to guard against. But most important of all, I would argue, these institution builders that I've talked about knew how to create the political space for their institutions. Because after all, what you're trying to do when you create a credible institution is you have to take, to occupy either a vacuum or to take power from other institutions. Power in some sense is a zero-sum game, and so there will be people who will resist the building of a credible institution. You have to explain why institution building makes sense, why it is important for the broader public purpose, and why this is not just about your personal integrity and so on, but a real public good when you create such an institution. And I think when you look at all these three examples that I've given you, together with an understanding of the political forces, they had a very thick skin and a single-minded resolve that was absolutely essential to doing their job and building their institutions. So your field is called political economy, and I think it's deservedly called so, because more than just understanding the economics, you also have to understand the political environment in which the economics work, in which the frameworks, the institutions, and so on have to be built. So I hope in the years to come, you will be able to augment your understanding of economic policies which you graduate today with the need for developing institutions that will implement these policies, and that you will obtain the integrity, or you will carry out the policies with integrity and with political sensitivity. I think at this point I have spoken enough. I will just say this, that when you do all this, if you move on this track, your reward may not be money or honors or even public gratitude. It may simply be the personal satisfaction that you've given back to a country that has given you so much. For many of you, even that, I'm sure, will be enough. In saying this, let me mention something about a convocation speaker. Convocation speakers are supposed to inspire with their speeches, and Sri Jaitley has certainly done that. But they also inspire with the example of their lives. Let me mention one student honor that the director left out when he described Sri Jaitley's career. He spent a term as a guest of the state in jail. I think it was Tihar jail, but in jail during the emergency, for standing up for his political beliefs. You should draw inspiration from such a principled career. Congratulations once again, and good luck in the years ahead. Thank you very much.